May pips and high percentages be upon you. What's going on, my friends? I'm hoping that your weekend was just outstanding, just out freaking standing. And I am looking forward to a very profitable week. And I'm hoping that you all benefit from the information I'm going to share today. Let's start off with the Dixie. This was the hardest call to make. I'm going to tell you that right now. Why? Because there's a number of factors on both sides, whether it's going to be strong or weak for the week. All right, just reading the technicals. Let's start off. The first question I usually ask myself is, where is the last break of structure? All right, here is the last break of structure. To the downside, price broke this low. This is a higher low relative to that one, a higher low, higher high, ever so slightly. This is a technical higher high, higher low, higher high. This higher low made that higher high. Once you break the higher low, that is a break of structure. And that means your uptrend is over, okay? And once you have a break of structure, the first thing I want to see is a return to the impulse, which is the order block that sent it down, sent that impulse down and breaking structure. And that's this one. All right. Price did, in fact, return to that order block. And we had a reaction, a bearish reaction, creating another bearish engulfer. All right. But on Friday, price allowed, it went down. This was a red candle that allowed the buyers to overtake the sellers and push price back up and turn this candle bullish. All right. That's something to note, right? Now, so am I looking for a continuation of bearishness? That is the potential here. Okay. But what am I going to make note? What I'm going to make note of is we have a magical trend line here that is being maintained, an upward trend line, right? We also have a bullish order block right here. That price came, respected, and price jumped, breaking a short-term high along the way to this bearish order block here. All right. All price does is go from an area of demand to an area of supply. That's how price moves, from bearish order block to bullish order block to bullish order block, from bullish order block to bearish order block. That's the way this works. All right. Now, if we go to the weekly time frame, what do we see? We see another order block here, right? A weekly order block here that was tested here. Okay. We had a break of structure here, right? Price came back to retest the order block that impulsed it down to break that structure, and it did. It came lower, but it made a higher low, right? And price came back to the same order block, and here we find ourselves chopping it up, all right? But we did break this high. Now, that is something that I'm going to keep in mind. All right, we broke this high, and what happens when you break a structural high? We're looking for an order block to be tested, the one that impulse price up, right? You're with me. You're with me so far. Where's that order block at on this weekly? Well, it looks like it's right here. The problem is it was broken. All right, it was busted here. This is a bullish bearish bullish formation, and the price just came right through it. Okay, but we found a footing on the daily side on this order block here, and price maintained this bullish trend line. So we have a push back up. Okay, and we broke the high of the previous candle. That is an indication of bullishness to me. Okay, and taking it back to the daily, If we step away, we're seeing a magic trend line being broken here, right? And tested on the top, on top of it as a support. And will we see some follow through? I don't know. I don't know about all that. What I do know is what's in front of me. I know that if price breaks this low, if price comes back here and breaks this low, breaks this this bearish order block, there ain't a whole lot to stop it from falling. It's not a whole, we can expect some real weakness to set in for a longer term for the USD, all right? And I'm thinking that the Fed will step in to buoy you to keep this, keep things afloat here with the USD. But I want you to recognize that there is signs of bearishness here. This is a sure sign of reversal. Okay, and we'll come back up to retest. So I am leaning bearish on this, on the USD. I am leaning bearish, but I will caution you on taking any bearish positions with USD pairs, you know, weak, playing the USD to the weak side. I will caution you against it. All right. I will ask you, I would urge you to let the first couple of days, the first 2 days, Sunday to about Monday evening, Tuesday, to let the markets decide if it's going to be a bearish USD or a bullish USD. Let it clear it up, because this area here is right in between. This is the trading range, and we are smack dab in the middle. So I would suggest letting it decide what it's going to do. All right, technically I'm bearish, and I gave you the reasons why. We have a return to impulse, and I can reasonably expect price to make a lower, to break that low and to retest this order block. That's a reasonable expectation, but I recognize that there's some bullishness that was introduced since Friday, and we can see another test of this order block, and then maybe a pull back. Because when you look at it as price impulsed up, this can be seen as a correction here. This could be seen as a correction here, because this looks like about a 618 Fibonacci retracement, and we could see a higher high being made. All right, we could see this bullishness being maintained. All right, we did make a higher low. All right, and it's reasonable to expect price to travel to make a higher high. I'm asking you to be cautious with your choices with the USD pairs. Okay, let's look at Euro USD. All right, what do we have here? Where's the last break of structure? We have a break of structure to the downside here, right? And that would mean a return to the impulse, right? Where would that impulse be? Right here, right? This is the one that impulse price passed this break of structure. However, price motored on past that. So what does that mean? We have bullishness. We have a shift from bearish momentum, excuse me, to bullish momentum, right? And that's what happened. Once we broke the top here, I'm expecting price to come back and return to the impulse that sent it that way for a test. And I reasonably expect price to make a higher low here and then go ahead and make the higher high. Right? See that little green arrow up there? That means we had a liquidity grab up here. Price broke this high just enough to grab a liquidity for the intended move, which was downward, right? Now, I want you to make note of that. All right, that's from me to you, that when you see price break the previous high just by the wick, 6 to 7 times out of 10, that means it's probably going to take a stronger move, the intended move, to the opposite direction. All right, the other 4 to 5 times, it goes up. The 3 to 4 times, excuse me. The other 3 to 4 times, it signals that price is going to turn bullish in its momentum and continue up. So keep that in mind. Anyway, the bias here, price will return to the impulse and make the higher low here, and then go ahead and make the higher high. Always ask yourself, if you're not sure, where was the last break of structure? You know, that, and then walk yourself through the rest of your analysis. That usually helps. Let's go to EURUSD. All right, I'm doing this for somebody made a personal request for this. All right, this one's not as clear. Not as clear. If I can just stop making that line, that'd be great. I swear to you, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. There you go. All right. Now, what do we have here? It was my fault, by the way. We have a magic trend line, all right, that has been respected 3 times, multiple times, to the upside, right? The last break of structure was to the upside, all right? And we also grabbed liquidity from this high point for the intended move, which was down, okay? But after the break of structure, we're waiting for price to return to the impulse, and that's what it did exactly, all right? There's a 3-day order block down here, as well as this daily order block newly formed that held, all right? And we have the bullishness here, all right? Price sees the introduction of the bulls to push price back up from this candle turning to a bearish candle to a bullish one. So I'm looking for a continuation of that, and so that we can go ahead and head towards making a higher high. All right, now we got some headwinds, obviously, and you can see them. There's an order block here, and one here, a strong one here that was retested, and then came on down to the downside. All right, let's see. We'll see how price is when we get there. If you're taking long positions, these are your areas to take TPs. Okay, to take partials. All right, but there's an order block here, and this one here. You know, those are for show enough headwinds. All right, we're hoping to see that price gets up here and grabs this liquidity. All right, and if price does come back, if we do see a pullback, we can likely expect it not to pass this trend line and not to pass this order block here. All right, this daily order block. We expect it to hold. All right, there's a lot of good rejection here, so I'm looking to the upside. Next is pound USD. This was another hard one, not as easy. I'm going to keep doing that and driving myself crazy. All right. What do we see? What's in front of us? Where's the last break of structure? Well, we had a break of structure to the upside here. All right, and we can expect price to come back and test the order block, that impulse price to break that structure, and that's here, right? The problem is we worked our way down and price broke that order block, went right through it, and came to the originating order block. All right, this is the lower low that was created, and this lower low held, creating a new bullish order block in the process. All right, price climbed and breaking short-term highs here. Oops, wow, breaking short-term highs here and here, which is great, great signs. All right, we found ourselves going all the way up to this bearish order block here on the daily, and price sent price back down, but all it did was fall into this bullish order block here, and price found rejection here. The bulls took over and brought price up, causing the double top at this bearish order block for another test. What do I see? If we go down to the 8 hour order, the 8 hour time frame, you can see price created another bearish order block. All right. Now we did not exceed this previous high, this most recent high. We did not exceed it. All right. I'd like to see how price reacts here at this 8 hour order block. And what I'm thinking is of two things. One, we're going to test this order block. We're going to test this order block here, and maybe we will take up all of the imbalance here, and price will correct that down to this order block and then continue higher. That's one scenario. The other scenario is price finds the bullish, the buyers finds their bullish push and pushes past these this near equal high, takes the liquidity up here as a sweep, as part of a sweep, and taking these and this and break and making a new high. Can you dig that? I think you can dig it. I think you are picking up what I'm putting down. All right. We made a double bottom here on this order block, and price is trying to make its way up, making higher lows. So I am bullish on this pair. All right, which would mean weakness on the USD if it breaks these highs. So you have to keep these things in context. All right. Same with EURUSD. All right. We have a break of structure. We're coming back to test this low, test this order block here to make the higher low. And I'm thinking price will continue higher, which would mean weakness in the USD. All right. We have to see, everything is dependent on that USD. So technically speaking, this is what my reasonable expectation is. All right. But if the USD turns strong, we're going to eat through the order block here, just like we're going to eat through we're going to respect that this order block here. We're going to eat through this order block, this bullish order block here, and head down and retest this bullish order block, making a triple bottom. We'll see what happens, but keep that in mind. All right, let's go to the next one. Aussie USD. Aussie and New Zealand pairs. I mean, those currencies, Aussie and New Zealand, have been very, very strong, as illustrated here. And what I want to see is, first, let me ask, what is the last break of structure? The last break of structure was to the upside. We made a higher high here, found this order block here, and we are probably on our way down to test the impulsing order block that brought price up there in the first place. This is the level I'm watching. Why am I got an eyeball on this? Because it's going to be very important. This is a key level. If we break through, we're going down. All right, that means USD strength. All right, that means USD is dragging down New Zealand and Aussie, and that all of a sudden the Aussie and New Zealand dollars are weak after having a very strong week this past week. All right, I want you to make note that this is the impulsing order block that brought price up there. Yes, we could definitely, test through that, maybe wick down and test this order block here. All right, but that's, I'm looking, we go with the one that originated the impulse. We go there first. All right, so what I'm looking for here is a higher low to be established, and then a price to continue. Now, with this scenario, we're also looking at this. All right, this is not an inverted head and shoulders. It's more like a Quasimodo, which is very similar, but a little bit different, but it's not as symmetrical. But you get the picture. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. All right, this is a bearish looking market. All right, that is shown that with this break of structure to the upside, that there's been a shift in the momentum. You can have a bearish trend, but you can have a bullish momentum. You can have bullish momentum, right? And the shift has taken place from bearish to bullish. And we want to see if it's going to be maintained. This bullish order block created another bullish order block. We respected a bearish order block here. And we want to see if this bullish order block that was created is going to be maintained to maintain the bullish momentum. All right, very good. Next, Aussie yen. Very similar situation, but the reason why I'm bringing it up, instead of just saying, oh, it's the same thing. We have a magic trend line here as well. All right, it's been respected here. You know what I mean that in a sarcastic way. A lot of retail traders use these trend lines and think they are the best thing that ever happened in the world, and that they're so 100% reliable, yet they're 100% subjective. But if you know how to use tools, they work for you. Anyway, it's always going to be a secondary confirmation for me, or a secondary confluence, right? Anyway, you can see price is respecting this descent, right? This bearish descent, but yet we have the same break of structure to the upside and the respect to a 3-day order block here, a bearish order block, and price is continuing down. All right, we got some good momentum going to the downside, and we're looking at a similar bullish order block, which is the originating impulsing order block here for price to come back and test. All right, we also have the order block that one created, that created this one right under it. So we'll see how price does. We have a bank level, psychological level here at 80.000. So we want to see how price will react here. If it gives us the lower high, let me get rid of this arrow. If it gives us the higher low here and continues higher, that would be great, but it will also mean a bearish USD. I mean, a bearish USD, a weak USD. And we'll also have this thing created as well. Okay, so let's see. Next, USDCAD. This one's a little interesting because it's so related to US oil. All right, weakness in US oil will lead to weakness in the CAD. So against the USD, which may turn bearish, which may turn bullish, we're going to find out. I don't know. We're going to find out. But against this is an interesting situation. Why? Where's the last break of structure? The last break of structure was to the upside. We broke structure here. All right. And I'm looking for price to return to the impulsing order block, which is here. All right. It did that. Excellent. Now we have a bullish response. It broke a short-term high here. So that just indicates bullishness. It indicates strength. And it also confirms that buyers are in control. All right. Now, here's the cautionary note. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. we have a lower right shoulder here, and this could mean price is about to do one of these numbers. All right? I just want you to keep an eye out for it, because I don't ignore these reversal patterns. I won't ignore them. We have a lot of strength here. All right, the buyers are kicked in on Friday, and it brought a bearish candle into a bullish one. So I want to see some continuation of that. All right, but understand what that means. That means US strong. That means US dollar is going to have strength against the Canadian dollar, which could just be very weak, considering the US, the WTI crude oil. Okay. Now, the crude oil may turn bullish. We'll take a look at it. All right. I'll probably send that out in a separate video. All right. Let's do one more. New Zealand dollar USD. All right. What do we see on the daily? Where is the last break of structure? Well, let's talk about it first. All right. We had a break of structure to the downside. You'd expect price to go back and test that doggone impulsing order block, which was here. Price broke through that doggone order block, crashed, and eliminated it. So, and in the process, it had a break of structure to the upside, breaking that higher, breaking that high here. All right. Is that the highest high? No, broke that one too. Okay. So really, this is the one that we should be looking at. Why did you do that? Why are you making me look bad, man? Okay. All right. So we had a break of structure to the upside. I like it all the way over. Thank you. We had a break of structure to the upside. All right. We have an order block here. You see this daily order block? Let me blow this up a little bit. See that daily order block here? All right. Price probe past it. All right. And touching off on the order block that created that one. That this one is kind of responding to. Actually, it never really got up there. It's actually filling in the fair market, fair value gap, or the imbalance. But this one is reaching up and touching this order block. But it respected this one because it didn't close past it. Got it? I hope you're with me. Good. This created a bearish order block here. Okay. And price did come up and retest that order block. What do I expect? After a break of structure, what do you expect, man? You come back and test that impulsing order block. I'm trying to make this easy for you. That's why I keep repeating it. You're going to learn. Oh, you're going to learn today. All right. Anyway, so I'm expecting, I have a reasonable expectation for price to come back, test this impulsing order back that broke past, that caused it to broke back mountain. All right. That caused it to break this structure. I'm looking for a retest of it, and then creating the higher low and go ahead and create that higher high. That's what I'm expecting. That's what the technicals are telling me. All right. I can only go by that. You know, if there's some fundamental news that comes out, fine. All right. But right now I am playing to Aussie strength and US dollar weakness. Now, in order to get down here, there's going to be some temporary short-term USD strength required there, or Aussie weakness, but more than likely US dollar strength. And by around Wednesday, this changes. Relate this to, extend this to all of the US dollar pairs. We may see some short-term strength come in against some of these pairs, and then weakness after. And that can happen midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like I always say, market makers love to misdirect at the beginning of the week and catch people out there, catch liquidity and put and make bull and bear traps, and then they go into the intended direction right around Monday, right around Tuesday, sometimes even on Wednesdays, and that trend will trend until Friday, sometimes even to Monday. Okay. We're going to check out gold. And this will be the last one. I have a lot of notes on this one. Why? Because it's not easy. Why? Because it's kind of indecisive. Let me show you on the daily. See that magic trend line? Ooh, ain't it pretty, man? We got test here, test here, test there. Ooh, child, that's pretty, just pretty. All right, who cares? All right, that's a secondary confluence. What we have here is a bearish order block, all right, that's been respected 3 times. We had a break of structure to the downside, so you're expecting price to come back and test that impulsing order block. That's not the impulsing order block. This is the impulsing order block. From here is where price jumped. Problem is, price jumped all up into it, all right? And we've exceeded the top, the very edge of this impulsing order block, but it's been respected because it did not close beyond it. This is where the equal highs are. The equal highs are where there's stop losses. There's liquidity pools right above this line. Keep that in mind. That's why I got my eye on it, because if price goes up here, it's probably going to pass through. This is the line of demarcation. All right. Once price breaks this high, we got a good breakout and price is going to go. Look at the traffic to the right side. All right, we have price to fill in up here, up to this, the bottom of this wick on this side. Between here and here is a missing price. All right, and we have a bearish order block up here. All right, I'm looking for price to break this these highs sometime this week. Early, late, I'm not sure, probably on Wednesday, when things start to change between Tuesday and Wednesday because of USD strength, whether it's going to be weak or turn weak, or whether it's going to start out strong and then go the other way. We're going to find out. All right. But I want you to see something with this trend line. We broke to the top and then are testing it as support. Resistance here, support here. Very interesting. Is price going to come back down and test this order block, test this trend line, and then go back up? That's a possibility because we have missing price right here. Price could go right up there. This is what motivates and can turn price around, filling in the imbalance. Okay. And the respect of this this bullish order block can send price to this bearish one. That's the way price moves, from bullish to bearish, from bearish to bullish, from supply to demand, from demand to supply, from bullish order block to bearish order block, from bearish order block to the next bullish order block. Got it? I hope you do. All right. So we also have a magic, a psychological bank level here that price is tapped a couple of times already, but has not broken yet. If it does break that, I think we might be seeing some the strength of the dollar begin to get a nice bull run starting for the USD, for the USD. But if the trend line holds, if the bullish order block holds, USD is going down, gold's going up, and the markets will likely benefit as well. All right. I hope that you've benefited from this Forex Weekly Forecast, and I'm hoping that you approve of the message that I've been given. I hope you pick it up when I put it down, man, and I hope you give me a thumbs up. All right, give me a thumbs up on the video to support this video and the others to come, and I appreciate that support. Thank you for those that have been riding with me and subscribing. You want to subscribe if you want to catch the updates, because I always give updates. I will see you in the next video, and I hope your week is going to be a good one.